to Soul Conversation with Sandra, the podcast. Today we have a beautiful rising goddess. Her name is Angelique Johnson. She has her page called, let me make sure I say it correctly because I want you to know. Because I want you to know. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It's called VZ, Z as in zebra, events. She is she's got some stuff going on. She's a spiritual coach. She is a co-host with Raymel Bentley on Healing Conversations. And she is now in the process of writing her ebook and getting it published. So I'm going to, without further ado, let's make sure we allow her to come in. You will be able to ask questions in the question box, okay, and be patient because hopefully if the question box is not working, then feel free to put the question in the comments. And if we miss it, please retype it and say, hey, you missed me. You missed this comment, and we'll be happy to answer your question, either to me or to this beautiful, beautiful angel. All right, so she's here, and I'm gonna wave at her. Did you like my model wave? Okay, enough of the comedy. If I was funny, okay, let me wave. And then once she requests, I will let's see. She says, hey, with a beautiful purple heart or lavender heart and kisses all over the smiley face. And here we go. Now, remember, as she's coming in, there will be a pause. So if I start talking and it cuts off, it's only because Instagram is pulling her in to the interview. Hold on a second. Welcome in, Matt. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Here she comes, people. Hello, beautiful goddess.
Hello, how are you, Queen?
Goddess and queen in the house. Oh, we're a
Yes,
powerful duo. All
yes,
right.
divinity is in the room today.
I'm so excited about this. So very excited about this. I'm excited to hear that you're writing an ebook.
Yes.
Congratulations, you go. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about matter of fact, I want to start with that because I'm in the process of gathering all my notes together to write. So I want to know your story, or we would like to know your story, and only give us as much as you feel comfortable. So my first question is, did you have a spiritual awakening? Have you
Yes.
had? Yes. Do you feel comfortable enough to share a little bit of it with us?
Yeah. And I mean, the spiritual awakening is an
Or
ongoing
spiritual
process.
awakening or
Usually.
soul awakening. Some people call
Yeah.
it different things.
And for me, it's this ongoing process because, you know, now I am a spiritual coach. I support people with having a better understanding of how to connect with their inner creator.
Mm-hmm.
I have this foundation of inner peace, and it's so brilliant and beautiful to be in. And I'm aware that there is still even greater, there's still more to it. But before I started this journey back in 2016, it was actually around this time of the year, I was working like 3 or 4 jobs. I was living with 3 dudes and sleeping on the couch. I was depressed. I was suicidal, and my life just felt like hopeless. And
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there really wasn't anything for me. I was just consumed by this darkness, and it was seeping into how I was interacting with people. It was completely consuming how I thought of myself. And one day I just found myself sitting in the bathroom with a box cutter, thinking that this would be my final moment of existence, that I wouldn't step out of this bathroom. I wouldn't have to, hey, y'all.
Yes.
I wouldn't
I
have
love you. I
to.
love you. I love you. Everybody loves you, baby.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's a beautiful space to be in, because when you come from a history of wanting to end your life, you know, and you actually take the steps to do that, you feel like nobody loves you. You feel like there's nothing for you. Even if people are telling you, it's like the words are going into a black pit. You feel
Right.
me?
They feel like they're just being sucked in before it can get to the other side. Right.
Yeah, it doesn't connect.
Right.
It doesn't connect. And so in that moment, I was unsuccessful. The blade did not cut me. And
Yes.
initially I
Yes.
was very confused and
Success.
angry.
You were not successful. Yay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I
And
have to say yay, because you are a vital part of my experience right here, right now.
thank you
Thank
for
you for not
that.
being successful.
And I can say thank you to myself as well, but it was really like a divine intervention. And that's kind of where my spirit awakening began. Um, because in that moment, I was just so defeated, and I was like, why didn't this work? It was supposed to be easy. Like, I don't want to be here. And the spirit spoke into me, shook my heart, rattled in my ears. There is greater for you. And I was just like, okay. I don't really know what to do with this. Like, I know there's nobody else here. Like, I know this isn't like some movie or some song. Like, it's coming from
Right.
within me. It's coming from my spirit. And I just said, okay, like, what do I do? And I recognized that I needed to be more conscious of putting positivity into my life. I needed, if I wanted my life to be better, I needed to put better things into my consciousness, into my eyes, into my ears, into my environment. And so from that moment, I started to listen to like Earl Nightingale and Les Brown and Lisa Nichols and all of these beautiful people who have been doing this work for so long. And it filled my cup up, and it washed my mind. I got reconditioned. And from that space, I was able to meet people like Raymel in 2019 when I went to the Speak and Write conference, and I was able to embrace that love. I was able to bring in people from the community that actually uplifted me and actually encouraged me, and genuinely take that in.
Right.
Because like I mentioned before, I was just kind of like this dark pit. You feel me? And the words weren't really coming in. But once I was more conditioned to receiving that and hearing that and telling myself affirmations are powerful, you just got to remain dedicated to them. That's something I support people with. It can be challenging in the beginning
Right.
because you have all these other thoughts going on. But yeah, after that, I was able to build that community and feel that love and embrace that light. And I started to become that light. And I decided I want to be this in the world. I want to hold space for people. I want to support people with their transformation. I want them to know that it's possible. So that is like my story of spiritual awakening and kind of how I got to where I am now with the book and the healing conversations and everything.
I love that. The healing conversations. It's not just okay. I'm gonna the for me, it's not just a one and done with the spiritual awakening. It's kind of it's a growth process over the consciousness of all my life. And I mean, I'm always having a dark night of the soul. I don't even like calling it a dark night of the soul. It's just my soul shining a light on something that I didn't recall as a spiritual being coming into this form body, into this energy. And now my soul is helping me, or helping it and me to recall this type of energy and what I want to do with it next. and it
Yeah.
seems to move throughout my life experience in different areas. Now the question I have is, have you had more experiences like that in stepping out of what you would call your darkness, embracing not only just your affirmations but your new life as a now moment, and then and also taking that affirmation of yourself and saying, I know what I tentatively and intent and attentively, okay, as growth, and in intention of helping to help others heal themselves. Was it a flow, or was it, did all of it flow together? Was it kind of like a cosmic circle, or did you have to do a linear kind of like a yellow brick road process? Does that make
That's, a,
sense?
that's interesting. So what I'm getting from your question is that you're asking if I came to be like wanting to help other people in like a like linear, it just kind of like step, or if it was kind of all
Yeah,
around the,
yeah,
yeah.
and it kind of like, I
Definitely
felt
the
like, yeah, to me it's like it's kind of like that whirlwind of me helping myself through helping others, through, okay, God, I got it. It's like that moment where you go, I'm hearing you, leave me alone, I got it. I gotta, it's like, I'm not in the house, Dorothy isn't in the house swirling, I'm swirling along with it, kind of like, okay, can I keep up, that kind of momentum, you know
Yes, yes, I definitely resonate with that last statement that you said. Um, because I grew up Catholic, so God and I have had a relationship for a long time, but it has been very, very like tumultuous, in my early 20s in that dark season. Um, I was very like questioning of like, is this like a real thing? I was around a lot of atheists and kind of agnostic people. And I'm like, I don't know if I really trust this. But then I had that moment where I was like, okay, I can only trust it, right?
yeah.
And so from that space, I really embraced that there is a higher source, there is a consciousness, there is an energy that is moving, that created the universe,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I wanted to connect more with that. And I had to like layer by layer release the ideas that I had started to build and the questions that I was starting to put in my mind that were blocking my intuition.
Ah,
Um, and so I would I would say even in the last year, I had a really powerful moment, and I actually just spoke about this on my inner creator illustration video, where I had a dark night of the soul, just kind of using that language. Um, and it illuminated for me a part of myself that was really, that was very connected to using or expecting things from other people instead of going within, recognizing that I am a divine image and that I am a creator and that other people are creating their own lives,
right.
right? And I'm creating my own life. So
Yeah,
I shouldn't solely expect my expansion to come from other people,
there you go.
right?
Whoop, there it is. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was challenging because these were people that I loved and I felt like loved me, and that they would, support me in certain ways and like be there. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we're doing this.
Right.
But then God was like, you're doing this. This is your life. I called you. I came into life as you to do these things.
Right.
this is on you. You have to take these steps. And it was tough. And it was really tough because you get that sense of rejection, abandonment that's kind of like hanging out in here that you don't realize is in there because you've been doing your affirmations and your daily gratitude. And, you know, you have all these beautiful people in your life, but then it's like, ooh, I'm still, you know, I'm still swirling around in here.
Right.
There's still some things swirling around in here that need to come up. So having that recognition did allow me to expand my understanding of supporting people, you know, because as a coach, it is, you know, something that I do to support people with being more themselves and seeing themselves. But we can get into this space as coaches or conversationalists, thought leaders, or whatever, where we're like, this is how you do life, and this is what you should be doing, and we start telling people how to live their life.
And this is okay, I'm gonna help you. Okay, give me your hand. I'm gonna come down this step, right? But it doesn't quite work that way.
And it can't work that way because no one can make us do anything. It has to be an internal choice. No matter how much someone holds your hand, is like cheering you on to take that step, it has to be an internal decision for you to take that step. And having that moment where I felt so isolated and abandoned, but recognized that, oh wait, I have this power within me. Like this comes from with me. You know, I can see that in other people. So if someone comes to me, they ask me for support with improving their inner dialogue, I'm there to hold space for them to have their own transformation without judgment. And it's beautiful because I can simply be like, the word that's coming to me is a bowl, you know, and they can like pour all of the things that they've been kind of thinking and holding within themselves so they can be emptied of that and then fill themselves back up. And then whatever they poured into me, I do my own process to pour that out into, you know, into the spirit, into the universe. And then they have new, fresh from their own wellspring, right? Instead of me having them be a bowl that I pour into, they can fill themselves
I love
up.
that.
Yeah.
To allow yourself to be the bowl. I just kind of allow myself to be open to being that funnel, that connection between the divine, so everything kind of just flows through it, and you know, they get to feel the connection through me to the surrender, right? And I'm going to tell you, it feels kind of, don't think me crazy or kooky, but the vibration of their surrender feels it helps me heal.
Absolutely.
Right? It helps me because when I'm doing I'm now starting to do my one-on-one star meditations, you know, right? And when I first did it with my first client, it was not only healing for them, it was I did it with them. I chose to say, well, you know, I want this to be different. I want this to be unique for them. And I just kind of surrendered myself to the divine and said, show me that I cannot see, that I need to see in order to embark with each individual person as an individual aspect of me. And it was like, okay, then do it with them. Do the process with them. You know, it's not just be there holding space for them, but be there with them so that they can feel as you release, they release. It doesn't have to be the same vibrational dark night of the soul. It just has to be a shared space where I can help them heal. And then remember to close the space, close that energy, so that they don't take on yours and you don't keep theirs. You're both, kind of like pouring into the bowl and then tipping the bowl out, and then allowing the bowl to kind of fill up. You know those bowls that have the little split in it where they have the like the serving dish when they have dinner, when you have your dinner, and one side is macaroni and cheese and the other is greens. Perfect. You can picture it now. One side is their energy that's being poured into surrender, and the other side is mine. It's side by side. We're doing this together. Don't be afraid. I won't be afraid if you won't be afraid. We're all deep diving together. And it's the first time I really got it, that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew I wasn't alone. I know I got soul family, right? And I know I have physical family that they support me in the fact that I believe this is good for me, but they don't like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But you go ahead and do it because it looks good on you. Go ahead and do it. But when I started doing the one-on-ones, that's when I really realized that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I love that, like, perception of doing the work together being you healing and them healing, because I resonate with that so deeply. And it's one of the reasons why I began leaning more into the spiritual coaching versus my artisticness, because I felt that. I felt myself healing as I was holding space for people. I felt myself growing as I was cheering other people on. And I love being creative. I love being an artist. I love putting my energy out into a visual way for other people to enjoy. And it is a shared experience, but it's not the same as sharing that energy while we're in the process together. Because the process of making art is very individual. It's very like, I'm in my zone, I'm in my space, this is what I'm doing. But like you said, we're sharing a meditation together, we're sharing breath work together, we're doing mantras together. Like, that is a powerful creative energy, and it is creating a shift. I mean, like you said, you don't have to be in the same kind of energy frequency that they are. You can be in your own space, in your own situation, but we're sharing this process of expansion, of shifting things. And I'll have a certain result and you'll have a certain result, but we're sharing this process. And just the idea of that, it lights me up. Like right now, just thinking about it, I'm like, ooh, that just sounds so like juicy and like good,
It's so delicious, right? It's kind of like I'm ready to just bite into it, right? And this year, doing this, just like you're doing your ebook, I was like, literally, the divine had me doing 3 projects at the same time. And the first, it was my Embody You workshop, which is a personalized. I have always been excited about the laws of attraction, the universal laws, and how to show people how to apply them in every area of their life. And when I believe it was 2003 when the DVD The Secret came out. I think it was 2003. The Secret came out. Everybody was on board with the law of manifestation, the law of attraction, right? And not getting the results they wanted. And then from that point to forward now, it's you have to embody yourself before you can attract. If you don't, and I just listened to the divine. The divine says you don't have to help them pull themselves apart, but you have to help them identify who they are before they can find out what they really want. And the divine said, case in point, if you're always trying to keep up with the Joneses next door to you, you're not really embodying you. Because if how do you know a Mercedes Benz is good for the Joneses next door when you don't know what's going on behind the doors of the Joneses. If you don't
True.
know, right? And I went, ooh, well, first I need to break me down a little bit more. It was kind of like, putting myself in that and saying, well, let me be kind of like the guinea pig to how this is going to work. Use me, right? You want me to do this embody you workshop. Well, then I've got to be the guinea pig and you've got to show me how this is going to work. Because I kind of know, but show me, right? And then it's the same thing with people who are doing businesses, right? They're out going out, starting businesses with only one goal in mind, is to make money. What about everything else that you are? Because you are the reflection of your company. Have you embodied yourself? And then I told the divine, I said, well, you got to show me this too. And the divine says, well, no, you have to go back and look at how you worked in every corporation that you worked in, and you can see how you embodied you by working and helping other people build their companies. So my next question, all of that to say, I've read that you said you help people remove limit thoughts with understanding. Can you embrace that for us?
Yeah. So something that I recently came across, it's actually, it was in June. I was going to say it wasn't so recently, but it was still fairly recently, was this idea that negative thoughts are actually protective thoughts, that they are ideas that we have to keep us safe, whether that's financially safe, emotionally safe, physically safe. We have these ideas of, I shouldn't, for instance, I grew up in the Chicagoland area, and something that I was told often was, don't wear red and black, or don't wear blue and black, or like
Same
whatever.
here in California.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we understand. And if you don't understand, gangs. Those are colors, popular colors for gangs. And so that could, I was pretty rebellious, and I was like, I can wear whatever I want. But
that was
it
me
might,
too.
it could build the idea in your mind, right? If we're going along with this, to protect you from that sort of violence or those sort of situations. I shouldn't wear blue. I shouldn't wear black, because that's dangerous. In another instance, I had a friend, an ex-friend, who in like 7th grade was literally talking about me right behind my back, like maybe like 3 yards away, just going in, talking about me physically, things that I had told her in private. And it was like, why are you doing this, right? That could build a thought in me. And honestly, it did build a thought in me. To protect me from having that happen again, I shouldn't share things with people, right? Because that's emotionally hurtful, and emotions cause pain in the body, just like physical pain, right? And so we develop these thoughts that are actually damaging us, which is why we call them negative. And the idea behind them is actually to protect us. So when we look at them and we say, this is negative, I don't want this, this is bad, it makes it more challenging to release that thought, because we're still coming at it with judgment. We're still coming at it with this harshness, and it makes it more of a fight, right? And it's like what you resist persists, right? And so when I heard that negative thoughts are actually protective thoughts, it opened up my perspective of how to navigate my own life and my own, subconscious beliefs. And I recognize through experiences, use myself as a guinea pig also. I'm very
guys, you got to know
that
before we throw it out to you, we put ourselves on the chopping block, and we say, if it's going to work for anybody, it's got to work for us first. At least I do that for me.
Yes. And so when I started to approach these limiting ideas and beliefs with more understanding of like, oh, I constructed this to keep my heart safe. I constructed this to not lose my mind. I constructed this to not enact violence on someone, because if I keep having these thoughts of like, oh, this person's going to hurt me, I might think maybe I should hurt them,
Right.
right?
Maybe I should
And
hurt
so,
them first. Nip it in the bud. Yeah.
exactly. And when I was able to look at them with more compassion and understanding, I was able to say, oh, this doesn't serve me anymore.
Okay.
And just allow it to be like, oh, I just don't need this anymore. And I'm not fighting against it. I'm not trying to destroy it or rip it out.
Mm-hmm.
I just recognize that this doesn't serve me anymore. And
Okay, so that's the same as that can be equal to or the same as becoming. Once you become aware of it, then you know how you want to address it. And if you is that understanding, oh, got it. Understanding with grace for yourself first,
yes,
right?
yes.
You give yourself
Grace is one of my favorite words. Yes.
you give yourself grace to understand it. Ooh, do you think it's understanding it, whether it's a negative or a positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of understanding it, whether it's a negative or a positive, where it fits in your life, and then you know how to shift it or move it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is the way I understood what you said on your page as well. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And it's for me, that's the way I kind of understood it. It's kind of like giving yourself grace to know at one particular time there was ignorance there, and now there's knowledge that you can the fire is mainly for the alchemy. Once you
Mm-hmm.
found it, you can now alchemize it. You can put it through a fire so that it can grow you and expand you. Am I correct in understanding it that way? Is that the way you meant that? Or
That that wasn't specifically the way that I meant it, but your understanding is very correct, and I definitely agree.
okay,
Um,
can you explain how you meant it for others that might need to hear it in the way that you meant it? Because infinite possibilities are for everyone. So I
mhm.
heard it for what resonated for me. Maybe somebody needs to hear how you meant it so it can resonate for them. Take what resonates,
Yeah,
guys. Leave what doesn't.
for sure. So the initial way that I meant it was kind of in a literal sense. So these practices that I've learned of breath work, of affirmations, of doing daily gratitude, of being aware of your thoughts, and taking those thoughts captive and holding grace for yourself. These are things that I learned. These are things that I gained knowledge from books and lectures, right? And if I don't, and it's kind of like what you said, if I apply this to my life, even if I don't really understand it, alchemy will happen. Gold will come of it. Something will shift. Even though I don't completely understand it or completely know what's going on, I'm going to get a change. But if I take that knowledge and then I just let it sit,
Right.
put it in the freezer, put it on ice, it's doing nothing for me. If I leave it in the book, I can be like, oh, that's just in a book and I read it.
Right.
And it stays in the book and my life stays the same.
Right.
So there was more of in that sense, but I really liked how you brought in that idea of the ignorance, like being in the fire is what creates the gold, is what creates the change.
Right.
Because it is kind of like I said, you are very correct. You are very correct. It just
Right.
wasn't initially what I was saying, but in
Yeah.
a way it is, because you're moving through life and you don't really know what's going on. Or even if you just have your own creative idea and you don't have a specific knowledge of how to do it,
Right.
right? You go and do it anyway, and that fire that you have will bring something to life.
Right.
Whereas if you read all the books about, like you were talking about, how to start a business and do the business things, but you don't do anything with it, you don't get as far as the person who's never read a business book in their life, but is just willing to go forward with their idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So that leads us to unpack money mindset.
Mm,
Okay. So
yeah.
are we on this yellow brick road journey? Is the these are the major things that popped out to me. The light bulb things that popped out. Are they in any order, any linear order in your growth process, or?
That's an interesting idea, because I feel like when I'm in it, it doesn't feel linear. But
Mm-hmm.
then when I kind of look back retrospectively, it's very linear. Because
Okay.
it's a divine order. You know, everything is happening in divine order. So
Right.
while I'm in it, it might feel like chaos. It might feel like a whirlwind, but everything is kind of building on top of each other. Um, and as far as unpacking my money mindset, um, for me, that has been something that has been like slowly being threaded throughout my expansion,
Ooh,
my spiritual
I love
journey.
that. You
But it
said
was
being threaded. Like,
threaded,
like yeah,
like a needle.
like threaded with a needle and thread. Oh, I
Yeah,
just love that.
yeah, because money is a currency. It's a part of our society. It's always around,
Mm-hmm.
and my mentality of it has had to grow and evolve, kind of after I grew and evolved. So in that way, it was like linear, because I believe for myself and for many other people that if you don't have a firm understanding of yourself and like how you want to carry yourself in the world, you don't know what you want to do with your money. You're just doing what you feel like you're supposed to do with your money, what other people are telling you to do with your money. And that can be things that aren't really serving you, you
Is
know.
that also part of your spiritual coaching, the money aspect as well?
Not in this season,
Not
but
season.
if somebody feels like the support applies to that, absolutely. I'm not going to say, don't apply this to your finances. Like it touches everything.
Right.
But I am still in that guinea pig
Yeah.
phase when it comes to my money.
Yeah.
And I have put together much more financial awareness, and I have invited more consistent currency into my life. So I understand that things are unpacking and they're working. I am getting
Okay.
results, right? And so maybe next year,
Okay.
after I've
Maybe
like,
next year that'll be part of your.
that'll be something more consistently that I approach. But in this season, I'm still allowing it to like work its thing out. But yeah, I have somebody who supports me with that. Her name is Jessica McConico. She's a beautiful financial counselor. She has held space for me consistently since 2019,
Mhm.
2020. Even as I've been threading,
Yeah.
as I've been threading, she helps me to have a clear of understanding of like how to actually navigate financial things in an intelligent way. And that's been partnered with me understanding how to navigate my life experience in an intentional way as well. So it's been beautiful to have her support.
Okay. Okay. And guys, follow this beautiful young lady. You cannot have enough spiritual advisors or guides or
Mhm.
spiritual people in doing these workshops. It's all about learning, and it's about wisdom and understanding, growth, and it's about shifting. It's about the shift. That's what we come here to do, guys, is to shift and expand. So follow her, right?
Yes.
It's not a diss to me if you follow her and then go work with her intensely on a program. You are not doing me a disservice by not doing something for me when you're doing something for her. You're doing something for me because she's the other self that is my mirror. Understand that
Mm.
there are so many people waking up to serve, for the
Yeah.
divine to serve. The divine is moving in through and as us as a unique expression. So follow her page, follow my page. She has, the next thing we're going to talk about is how she got involved with Raymel Bentley and their co-host project. Tell us a little bit about that. Right?
Yes.
Right. It's called Healing Conversations. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty.
And I just want to start by saying I'm so grateful for Raymel, and we have been on this journey for some time now. And I think he might still be watching, I'm not sure, but it's such a joy to have soul family that has seen you expand and held space for you. And I do kind of have to hop off around like 12:30,
Oh,
12:45,
that's
but
perfect. Yeah.
for sure. So I'll try to make this sort of brief. But I have so much love and respect for him, and he has been one of my greatest inspirations for continuing to understand how I can serve in the world. Because he has, once he decided I'm doing this, sharing the videos, being a coach, he put himself fully into it. Meanwhile, I was like, in my whirlwind, like, oh, I kind of want to do this. Well, let me try this first. Or maybe I should do it with the art. Or maybe I should do it this way, trying to do it all these other around ways. Right. But he has been just so boom, 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 like drilling it in. And then one day I just was like, why do I keep trying to beat around the bush with this?
Right. Why do I keep putting it on the back burner? Why?
Yeah.
Right.
Why do I keep trying to make this secondary? And I think we had a conversation about it at some point, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just do this. And then a part of that unfoldment and that acceptance, we had a conversation about holding a space together. And so we started this conversation space. It's on Instagram and also will be on YouTube. So if you go to the link in my bio, you can subscribe and get the notification for that. But it's called Healing Conversations. And as we were talking about earlier, it's about sharing that process together. We are not coming into the space and being like, we have all the answers, and this is what you should do. And,
if you
it's
don't
like,
do it, it's on, the shit is on you, not us. Yeah.
yeah,
I've
right?
been on some pages like that, and I went, okay, scroll, scroll
Safe,
up.
yeah,
Yeah.
keep going, right?
Keep going.
Like we literally come into the room, and if you want to join us in person, we do meet in West Hollywood Library. So if you want to come in person, that's also an option. But we get into the room and we ask, what do you want to talk about today? What are you healing through? And we share with each other. We hold space for each other, and then we say, okay, I think we have our topic. And sometimes we have to remember to start the live because we just start, holding that space together. And so we're like, wait, hold on. Let's start the live so we can get the people in it too. And we share what we are going through. We share experiences that we have recently had. And we share the tools that we are using for ourselves to grow through them.
Right.
And that's the thing that really makes it different than just telling people this is what you should do.
Right.
It's saying, this is what I'm doing, this is how it's serving me. And if, like you say, if it resonates, you can take it. If it doesn't, you can leave it.
You can just,
and
yeah.
And it's also just been such a beautiful space because we got more connected with you. I feel like I've just known you for in
Forever,
eternity. So
right?
I'm like, yes, I'm like, how did
I
we
feel
even?
like it's just I know her for I've known her. How long have I known her? I've just forever, you know, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
The same thing with Raymel. It feels like there has never been a time that I have not known him, you know.
exactly. And
So
it's through those beautiful conversations where we, we've met so many other different people, and other people have had um, transformations as well. And it's just beautiful to hold space for each other. So that's Healing Conversations. It's Saturdays around 3 p.m. Pacific time. Sometimes we're here a little later than 3 p.m. But just make sure you're ready and set if you want to if you want
yeah,
to join.
usually I
Yeah.
catch it after I've done, I'll catch it at the end because I
Mm.
do Saturdays, I do my soul talk with Sandy M. It's a new venture.
Okay.
So, and it's only, guys, it's only available right now on my YouTube. So, you know, go
Okay.
to my YouTube, subscribe and follow me. And if you feel that, I'm sorry, if you feel
Yeah.
that, guys, if you feel that you're in alignment with soul talk and what we talk about, usually it's about how we I'm leaning towards everybody speaking about how their gifts, their talents, their skills, whether they be spiritual, whether you've had them since birth, whether you just realized that the skills that you had before you had your awakening are really your spiritual gifts. Talk about it. Tell me how you share it with the community. Tell me how you've grown to. It's called Soul Talk, soul to soul. And
Mm.
there is no judgment there. It is just bring what you do and what you love and how you want to grow. And we talk for about 45 minutes, you know, and it's new because it's my new thread, as you said, into my YouTube, you know,
Mm.
you know,
I love
you know,
that.
yeah. At first I wanted it to be YouTube and Instagram, streaming, live streaming on both. And Divine said, no, it's just YouTube, you know. So it's
Mm-hmm.
me and, you know, kind of like doing the same thing. And it's kind of, it's kind of like, it's like a Freaky Friday kind of thing because it's exactly 3 o'clock you guys' time, you know, or in this
Mm.
case, a Freaky Saturday thing, right?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So I know you have to go, and
Mm.
we're at 12:20. Here's what I'm going to ask next. Do you have a question for me? Feel free.
Ooh. Well, this is something that we might have to unpack at another time because
Okay.
it's very like broad, and I think the answer can be, lengthy. Um, but the
Well,
question that was coming forward for me is what what like shifted you into showing up consistently in the way that you do now, being this um, light worker, this funnel, this channel?
okay. In a short form answer, every time the divine opened up a gift, and the divine just reminded me that as a kid, I have always been all in or all out,
Mm,
right? And the all in helped me heal my throat chakra. So when I was a kid, I was very verbal. I had my mother there. Like I said, I truly believe that my mother was my angel guide, or my guide, my spiritual guide in human form. She came with me, or she
mm,
birthed me for on purpose, with a purpose, and she was there to guide me. She guided me through up to about 30,
mm,
and then she left that experience. And the next set was me going from, you know, vibrational fears into stepping into liberation. And
mm.
so every time a gift would open up from within me, I'd have to travel that path from fear to liberation.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was like maybe somebody who loves smoking weed. They love the expectation of going from the low to the high, right? Or a surfer surfing and actually catching that wave that they can go in and through and feel the water and feel the rush and feel it, their hands touching it and feeling it spraying on their face, and go from that lull of the ocean to the depth and vibration of the ocean, and then coming back out into the gentle, push of the ocean, saying, okay, you've done it, good job. And so that in a nutshell is what I do. It's kind of like riding a high. I think I like riding that high, even if there are lows. Like right now, I'm going through. Right now, I'm at a point where I can be that fly on the wall inside of me, listening to my higher being and my ego have a conversation about certain things that are going, like that I did my live yesterday. So certain things that I'm going through right now medically, and listening to my ego say, but she needs this, and my ego saying, my higher being putting his hands on his hips and saying, nope, she's got this, kind of thing. So, and it's a rush. It can be a rush, right? So I don't know if I explained it in, because I tried to put it all in a nutshell, because you're absolutely right. It has to be, we have to do another hour of this.
Yeah, I was like, it's sort of profound, but it was the first thing that got put into my heart. So I was like, let me just honor what wants to come through. You feel me? And I'm grateful that I did ask, because that's a beautiful kind of like expression of the journey. Like you're kind of, and I resonate with that idea of, there are like these low moments, but then that wave comes, and then you go into the gentle, like you did it. It's like, I think that's like really living. Like some people look for those, like those risks or those rush, or like those what are those extreme sports? You feel me? Yeah. But when you are doing that, like spiritually, energetically, like just like with your own awareness and your own energy, it gives that same sort of I don't know, just life. That life.
It's just, you go, finally, when you kind of understand. I'm not saying that it waits till you live enough life to say, oh, now I understand. I think it's at every pivotal moment in your life, whether we put that terminology on there, negative or lower polarity energy. We put energy is energy. It only gets created by the thoughts that we have, that we give the energy power to, right? And so life is just kind of free flowing. Life isn't, finally, I think when I got it, life isn't happening to me, it's happening because of me. And when I actually felt comfortable enough to sit with that and honor it, that I am the creator, I am the one true creator in this experience, Sandy, that I finally I could understand all the things, that I could understand the rush. And I go, oh, I live for the rush of the polarity of the higher polarity and the lower polarity, because I'm finally understanding. I'm here for the shifting. I'm here for the growth and understanding. And then I'm here to evolve, and then to do the shit all over again. Wow. That's like being on a surfboard, riding that spiral of water. How does water even go like this? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And let
Yeah.
alone you be riding through it.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's life.
Exhilarating. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
word I was looking
right.
for. Yeah,
So
yeah. Mm,
I definitely have to have you come back. I definitely
absolutely.
do. I've got a set of questions here that I haven't even.
Heard a whole essay.
Well, it's
Yeah,
questions. It's
yeah,
questions
yeah.
about your courage and your authenticity. It's questions.
Mm,
It's questions.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So please intend, not just promise, but have an intention to come back. You know.
Absolutely. Let me know. I know you have lots of other beautiful people that you have conversations with. So when you have the space and the place, let me
Oh,
know.
definitely. It's coming up now. I think I
Mm,
have actually, because I've been dealing with a lot going on with me, I have to
mm.
do my September roster. So, you know,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
the yeah, September, I believe it's September roster. So hopefully you will be coming back then. You know, we'll
Yeah. We
work
will
out a
work it
Friday.
out. Yes, we will work it out.
So everybody,
Okay.
please follow this beautiful goddess,
Yes.
you know,
And
and
thank you for the people who already have. I saw the notifications. I'm grateful for it, and I look forward to sharing space with y'all.
yeah, and please follow her on her and Ray Mail on Saturday
Mhm.
um, at 3. And I'm going to tell you the conversation, tasty. It's going to fill you up, you know. So
Yeah.
definitely. And I don't have my schedule right here, but Ray Mail is going to, I believe he's going to join me um, sometime in September. I'm not sure. I think it's September 8th, maybe. I'm not sure. I think he's
Okay.
my first Friday. So who knows? Maybe you can be the Friday after him. Hmm.
Maybe. I'm open to
Yeah.
it. I'm open to it.
Yeah. So let me check it out. I'll check it out and I'll give you that. I'll give you later on. I'll send you that information so I can book you now.
Yes. Yes.
What?
Get it checked
Hopefully, while
now.
you're bookable. So thank you so much for joining me, and
Thank you for the
have a beautiful
invitation.
day. Beautiful day. Thank you. And I will list you as a collaborator so that you can use some of this information.
Mhm.
After a while, it won't be as visible on my Instagram, but you will be uploaded to my Spotify.
Okay. That
Okay.
sounds
And
cool too.
I'll let you know when I do that. I'll let Instagram know that they can catch it in replay and what the link is for that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm working on all of this, guys. I'm working on the back end by moi. So I'm learning it as I go. Be patient with me. Give me
Hmm.
grace. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All
The
right.
point is that you are putting it out into the world to the best of your ability and you're growing that ability. And I just have deep gratitude for that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for being on Soul Conversations with Sandra. This is Angelique from Give Angelique. Give your plug before you leave, please, and
Yeah.
let people know where they can find you. Almost forgot.
Yes. So Instagram, VZ Events, V as in Victor, Z as in Zebra, Events. All of my other links are in the bio or my link tree. And yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel because we're going to be doing conversations. I got content over there as well. But yeah, mostly just hang out on the Instagram because this is like my main platform for promoting things. And we kind of brushed on the ebook that's going to be coming out soon and very soon. So just be on the lookout for that because that shares more about my story and some ways that I got through that. So yes.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, beautiful goddess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so everyone, follow me on Instagram at Soul Awakening with Sandra. I also do Soul Conversations with Sandra. Please start following me on YouTube. It is Soul Awakening with Sandra. On my Spotify, you can find me at Soul Conversations with Sandra. And let's see, what else? I think, did I forget anything? I am working on my other pages, and they will be up soon. Also, I will be having a one-on-one workshops with called Solutions, and that's about business and the application of spirituality, the laws of attraction, and your businesses, whether you are newly doing a business, or whether you've had one for just a year or two and things aren't working out right. It's about you embodying you before you embody a business. Changing your mindset about your business by changing your mindset about you. The other one is called uh, uh, you embodying you, which is a spiritual embarkment into the unknown of you, and embodying you, body, mind, and soul. Okay, these are one-on-one workshops that I'm just starting. If you want to be part of that, DM me at at my Instagram, and I'll give you the information that way. All right. So everybody, have a blessed weekend. I believe it's a 3-day weekend. Some 4 days. Have a blessed weekend. Be the creator that you were meant to be. You are the divine moving through, in, and as you. You are the one true creator having an experience in human form as you. So have a thought. It doesn't matter what the thought is. Just have it. Try it on for size. Your feelings and your emotions will tell you if it resonates with you, if it aligns with you. If it doesn't, take it off. Surrender it to divine and go find another thought, and then be the magnificent creator that you were meant to be. Everybody have a beautiful day. I close this vibrational energy connection with 10845, 10845, 10845. Everybody be blessed. Peace.